Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. This will be the ClassicShaving.com's lather review of their 2.5 inch diameter soap. This particular one is bacon scented, and I gave my thoughts about that and the scent and whatnot in the last video. So what I'm going to do is I'll just take it out of the pack here. I'm going to do a bowl lather, and I'm also going to do a face lather. So with the bowl lather, it will be in my typical bowl here. I'll be using my synthetic razor rock brush and I have it loaded with water. We'll empty that out. And what I'll do is I'll use my little wooden spoon here and we'll cut off a little bit of a chunk. That's the chunk I used last time. That was way too much. I actually used the rest of that chunk in another shave off cam. So what we'll probably need is about that. I'll take a little bit more. All right. And then for the face shave, we'll just lather off the puck. So that's what we're going to go with for the bowl. Push that into the bowl. All right, smush it down. All right, so this is what we have in the actual bowl. So I'm just going to begin lathering. It lathered fairly well. When I bowl lathered it last time, I don't think it's going to have any issues. I do think I used I don't know if I used a synthetic. I think I used a boar. So what I'm doing is this brush was absolutely loaded with water. It was sitting in this full of water. So I'm just going as it is. It's very airy, very foamy. You see that right off the bat. You can see all the air bubbles. But that's because this was I had a ton of water in here. But if I continue to work this, most what I would consider quality soaps will thicken up as long as you're not continually adding water to them. Like right now, this lather looks almost identical to Mitchell's Wool Fat lather. The Mitchell's Wool Fat, that does not lather very well, and that's very airy and foamy. Now, there's like two different kinds. There's like Duff pucks, and then there's the good pucks. And unfortunately, I got one of those Duffs. So, all right. So we'll just keep on working this lather here. All I'm doing is literally circle motions in the bowl. What's really nice is at the bottom of the bowl there's all of those grooves, and even on the side there's the grooves, kind of that will whip up a lather fairly easy for you. I didn't put very much soap in here. You saw, it wasn't much at all. On that 2.5 inch diameter puck, I could probably add to a bowl what I just did. I don't know, maybe 100 times. Like it was very, very little of what I just used. We are thickening up here. The peaks are nice. Nice peak. So it's actually performing very well. The copious amounts of lather, this is insane. Dude, I mean, just with the little bit of soap that I used. This version does not have lanolin in it. The ingredients are kosher VG, vegetable glycerin, sodium cocoate, sodium stearate, PG, which is propylene glycol, sorbitol, deionized water, bentonite clay, and fragrance, which the fragrance is like a maple syrup, but just pushing the lather down and building up some more. It's exploded. So I'm not getting very much scent. I smell it, but it's not a very strong scent. Once, like, the puck itself smells fairly strong, but as far as the actual lather, not that strong. All right, I think we're about where we need to be. I mean, we're looking at, I can get more lather. It's just falling off. The peaks are nice. The bubbles are actually pretty small. There's like one or two large bubbles that I could see as I'm turning it, but you know, fairly small considering. Like I said, the peaks are very nice. Like, you know, that's a good quality lather right here. I'd have no problems getting a great shape with this. That's what we have, and obviously we have tons left in the bowl as well. Yeah, I mean it's it's very it's thicker than Barbasol shave cream. Definitely thicker and more dense. I would say it's more dense as well. So it's very cushiony as far as the slickness. Yeah, extremely slick as well without even adding water to this. I mean, it's well hydrated enough. So if you wet your face and then put this on, it's going to be that much more slick. So I'm going to rinse my hands off real quick. And what I'll do is we'll just rinse them off. I'll just get the visible lather off. All right, visible lather's off. I'm leaving my hands very wet. And yeah, residual slickness is nice as well. So, so yeah, nice lather. Let's do the face lather real quick. I'm gonna grab the puck and just grab the puck and lather straight from the puck. What I'll do is I'll find a little bowl to put this in and do that. I've had my Omega Bore soaking. We'll kind of rinse out the majority of that water. Leave it a little damp, and we will begin loading on right on the pot. I'm gonna load it down here. Well, it might not shoot lather everywhere. Hope everyone's been doing well. We made it to the end of the week, so that's good. And yeah, hopefully your weekend goes well. What I really want to see on this when I'm face lathering is it dissipating from my face? You know, that's always a question with soaps that I've never tried before. Do they dissipate, you know, on my face? If I had to take a guess, I would say that this probably will not dissipate. I think this is going to be a decent lather even on my face. So, all right, this is kind of where we're at right now. We're actually getting a nice lather on my hand. All right, so that's the load I'm going to go with. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to rinse this off. And like I said, I'm going to put this puck, I don't have a container at the moment, so it's just going to go on top of the package it came in. The puck, when wet, extremely slick. Like it's almost coming out of my fingers. So, very nice. All right. Dry my hands, and then we will begin face lathering. All right, since this is a bore, I'm just gonna paint it on first. This bore in particular is definitely better at painting as opposed to really scrubbing. You can scrub, but not ideal. Not ideal with this bore. All right, now the scent. In the bowl, the scent was not that strong. Right now on my face, the scent's pretty darn strong. I have an absolutely beautiful load. You could see that it's thick, like it's kind of caked. So I'm gonna add water to cut it, but also look at the thickness, the density on this. You know, the actual brush. No bubbles in there whatsoever. That's just 100% lather right there. So I have water in the bowl down here. Dipping the tips. Lingophile 88 sent me this, by the way. Lingophile has been watching the channel for, I think, almost since the inception. Which really wasn't that long ago. A little over a year, I believe. We're gonna keep adding water. I want to see how much I can push this before it breaks. Like I said, I typically do this with all of my soaps anyways, any new soap that I receive. I don't always record them, obviously, but I do like to push my soaps to the limit and see, how much water you can add. Not that I ever add that much water to the actual soaps, but it's just, number one, it's fun for me. And then number two, I like to see how the different artisan soaps react. Yeah, it's very thick and creamy here. Like I said, this really isn't a scrubbing brush. You can see we can definitely get some plumes if I had a scrubbing brush, but this is more of a painter. It's definitely well hydrated. I wouldn't have any issue actually shaving with this. Wow, it's actually pretty dense still. I'm not even, you're not able to see the skin very well there. So we're gonna keep adding water.
We'll see what we can do with it. It's still so thick, you can see, like, the density of that is... I'm gonna add some water directly in the center there. From the faucet, use in the bowl. You add more water. Literally just like soaking the entire brush here. I'm slinging lather everywhere. Look at that. It's like inside my stick. On the chest.
So this is a bit more dense than, you could tell by how it's pulling apart in the peaks. You can tell that's a bit thicker than the bowl. So actually, I don't know if I didn't work the bowl long enough, or if just lathering on my face was a bit more gyration where it would create a thicker, denser lather. But this lather is a bit better than the bowl, actually. Yeah, look at that peak. That's some good freaking lather. All right, let's rinse this off. And the last thing I kind of want to check is the face feel after the actual soap is off. That's kind of the last thing that I check when doing lather tests. Face is completely dry, and we're feeling a bit of moisture. Not as good as PAA or Katie's Bubbles or Ariana and Evans, but it's not bad either. It's really the only way to truthfully tell if it's gonna last is giving it some time. So let's do that. I'm gonna come back in about 10 minutes. For you, it'll be just a couple seconds. I'll come back and tell you how my face feels at that point in time. Okay, so it's only been about 10-15 minutes. It really has not held the actual moisture. So I do feel a little bit, but it's nowhere near on par with the higher end soaps as far as the post shave goes. Like I said, this version does not have the lanolin. I know there's some versions with lanolin in it. Those are probably going to be much better as far as the post shave feel. This was okay. As far as a soap, I think they were on sale. I think they were under like $7 for a 2.5 inch puck in diameter. They have a whole bunch of scents. The bacon, I think, is, like I said in the video, a bit gimmicky. But as far as the soap base is on par with anything else I have in there other than the ones that I mentioned. It's probably not even on par with my Sterling soaps. But other than that, it's on par with everything else I have in my den. So anyways, I will get that den tour uploaded at some point. Just been busy. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next shave.